Hi everyone, I'm Explosion and welcome to my YouTube video. So in this video, I will briefly talk about the forecasting system of William Delbert Gann, how to begin decoding the tunnel through the air, what to look for inside this book, which are the specific details and codes or decoding procedure, and what are real or fake forecasts, or what we should look for in any person's forecasts in Gann field, so that we can confirm, we can validate that they use Gann's forecasting system. Because as you know, there are lots of fake Gann gurus in the web. So I want to make several things clear in this video, and I hope you enjoy it actually. So before starting, it's worth to remember this quote from the introduction part from the Tunnel Through the Air book by William Delbert Gann. Gann mentioned that the tunnel through the air is mysterious and contains a valuable secret clothed in veiled language. Some will find it the first time they read it, others will see it in the second read it, but the greatest number will find the hidden secret when they read it the third time. So Gann obviously mentions that he hid something inside this book in the tunnel through the air. Actually, in Gann's some other books, you will find some other valuable information as well, but this is the key, I think, the tunnel through the air. If you can decode it, you can definitely learn much more things about William Delbert Gann's forecasting system, because this system is quite detailed, with certain rules, with certain accuracy, and you can apply this system for any tradable market. So on the screen you can see William Delbert Gann's learning pyramid. So this is, I constructed this at the past actually, but I think most of you didn't see this yet, or I believe you didn't come across with this chart. So if you want to learn the original methods and the correct time cycle lengths of Gann, you need to start at some points. And when you start, you should have definitely a base, a valid base, so that you can decode this book, you can build the information and this system above this base. In the base level, you need to learn, you need to know astrology and numerology. So the thing is, you need to learn any time cycles, any important astrological references. You need to learn them. You need to learn them, and you need to look for these numbers while decoding the tunnel through the air. I mean, these lengths can be some sidereal cycles or synodic cycles, or some latitude values of some planets. You need to know these values, so that while decoding you will find several numbers, and you will see that these numbers are from astrology. They will point some important steps while for the decoding, and we will use these numbers. On the next layer, actually, you need to decode firstly, and this is my pyramid, so I will follow it consecutively. You can follow another path another learning path for Gann, but I believe learning the planetary cycles first and then law of vibration cycles second is important, because you build some knowledge on planetary cycles, then you can proceed with law of vibration cycles, time factors, and also advance with the advanced law of vibration application. So in the second layer, you need to decode lunar cycles, UR cycles, and lone aviator cycle. These are simply planetary cycles of William Delbert Gann, and I will mention the properties of these cycles briefly. For example, there are two lunar cycles, long and short lunar cycles. Either long or short lunar is the dominant lunar for any asset. So simply you need to try and figure out the dominant lunar for your selected asset. And generally, it has 5 to 6 daily length turn, daily length swings, and per 1 month, generally we expect to see around 5 or 6 lunar turns. If you look at the COR cycles, there are 3 COR cycles from the tunnel through the air. And we need to use the time factor while using the COR cycles. And they give 10 to 20 daily length swings. Generally, we expect to see 2 or 3 COR turns per 1 month. So it's larger cycle than lunar. And if you look at the lone aviator cycle, it's actually the smallest cycle. And there's a reason why it's called lone aviator. The reason is that you can use this cycle separately, lonely. So this is the third planetary cycle from the tunnel through the air. So if you go to the next layer, we have law of vibration cycles. It's quite important subject because generally, as a general rule, numerology supersedes astrology. It means that if you are using numbers, if you are using number cycles, it has better accuracy than planetary cycles or astrology. It doesn't mean that there's a huge difference. There isn't a huge difference, but if you are boosting the accuracy around 80% to 90%, I think it's also valuable. So low vibration cycles simply means number cycles. Everything in the universe has frequency and vibration. So this is the base idea for this concept, for this LOV, law of vibration. So in the next layer, we have the time factors. So I mentioned that we use time factors in the CR cycles in the second layer, but these time factors in the CORs are actually planetary time factors. And if you look at the time factors alone, these are the time factors for LOV cycles, actually, law of vibration cycles. So if we go to the top of this pyramid, we have advanced law of vibration applications. There are several methods. I can call them methods, I think. And using these methods, you can have great accuracy. And using the advanced law of vibration cycles or applications, you can be more accurate on your forecast and on your trades, because it has lesser orb than planetary cycles of Gann. And also you can forecast your bottom candle or top candle. You can also forecast the price magnitude in the next trend accurately. So simply you can forecast every property for your trading using advanced law of vibration applications. But the thing is, this is, I believe, a complete system. This is a very complete system. If you learn, even if you learn until the end of the second layer, it will, I think it will make a huge difference in your trading. The next slide. So if you want to learn real Gann methods, you need to learn, or if you want to decode the tunnel through the air book, you need to learn these items. Item 1, all astrological cycles. And when I say all astrological cycles, I mean synodic, sidereal, or planetary cycles, plus all astrological basic information. It can be some latitude values of the planets. It can be about heliocentric or geocentric astrology. And it can be about astrological aspects. Item 2. You need to have a base knowledge for law of vibration. And when I say base knowledge, you need to learn about music, octaves, its ratios, number cycles, frequency, and vibration. So there are several, actually a few very good books to construct and learn about law of vibration. This is because it's a law at the end. You may believe it, you may not believe it, but it's a law at the end. So I think there is a book by Robert Leveler, like I think the name of the book was Sacred Geometry, and there's also another book by Russell Smith. If I remember correctly, its name is Cosmic Secrets. So you can find several books about law of vibration and learn and construct a base about it at the beginning. Item 3, you need to learn about the coding mechanism or procedure of William Delbert Gann. And for example, Gann used anagrams, dates. These dates are quite important because none of these dates in the book are random. You need to also check page numbers, airplanes, and the wars in the tunnel through the air. Item 4, as I mentioned, you need to learn lunars, CORs, and maybe Lonimeter as well, because I don't personally use it, but you may find it useful. You need to also learn law of vibration cycles, time factors, and advanced law of vibration applications after decoding the tunnel through the air, actually. And here I will give some hints for you, and you can use these hints while decoding this book. Firstly, make a list of all the dates and events in the book. As I mentioned, none of them are random. Secondly, track the same events, because the same events and its especially dates, I mean the dates in the same event are quite important. You need to also check the page numbers. For example, how many times a specific name is mentioned through the book. This is another hint. And also you can check that on which page the event starts and on which page the event ends. I mean, page-wise in the book you can check the length of the event, also date-wise based on the given dates in the book. These are quite important, and you can also check how many times a specific word occurs in this book. The next item, you need to look for possible anagrams or hints or on any specific names. For example, there's a radium ray. This is very specific, as you see, from the tunnel through the air. And when you consider this word, we have an element actually. And this element is radium. And if you check the periodic table, you will see that this element has 88 as the element number. So the number 88 is the hint here. Because William Delbert Gann used very specific names, and the reason is he hid something inside these names. Item 4. Check the first and the last occurrence of any specific name in the book. I just mentioned about it. Item 5. You will come across several familiar numbers while decoding this book. You can check if you can relate them with any astrological cycle or any astrological number. I also mentioned about it. Item 6. Check the numerology of specific names in the tunnel through the air. They also provide valuable hints or information. So the thing is, there are some calculators in the web, so you can use them to check specific names inside this book, so that they also give some hints, because Gann coded this book layer by layer. If you don't know astrology, you can decode very limited part of this information. If you don't know numerology, still there will be some missing parts, even if you use astrology and decode anything which has astrological reference. So the next item, anytime Gann mentions anything on the tunnel through the air or any of his other books, think the reason why specifically Gann mentions it in a specific way, but not in a casual way. So this is very important, because in our life, we, while talking or in any other books, while reading them, we see that there's a normal way, and in most of the Gann's writings, you will see that Gann actually used his sentences in some extraordinary way. You need to see that why Gann did it, and if you search for its reason, you can reveal some important hints. So here, I will give you a very important example so that you can imagine how to decode, how to derive several numbers from this book, so that we can work with these numbers. As we know, the name of the book is The Tunnel Through the Air, or Looking Back from 1940. So Gann published this book in 1927. So in 1927, you cannot look back from 1940. So there's a reason why Gann used this number. So if you want to decode the meaning of this number, simply you can do several things. And among these several things, for example, you can take the square root of this number, or you can take the square of this number, or you can calculate that how many lunar turns exist inside this number, or you can calculate this number. You can use it as daily length, and you can calculate its weekly length or yearly length. These are several examples. So you can work with some other numbers or names or anything using this procedure, because this is very important actually. And I think if you spend some time, you can decode something from this book using this procedure. So again, it's worth to remember that all the wars and war events in this book are related to the price section of Dow Jones Index. So you can also open your chart, you can check the dates, you can check the publish date of this book. So you will see both the forecasts of William Delbert Gann for Dow Jones, and also you can see the price section of Dow Jones, and you can compare them with the events in the tunnel book, because they are simply Gann was simply talking about the price section of Dow Jones. In Gann field, as I mentioned, there are lots of fake Gann teachers, Gann gurus, etc. So my validation point, my verification point for this subject is, if anyone claims that they have the original methods of Gann, they know the original applications, and they have the correct time cycle lengths of Gann, they must back up this claim by their forecasts. They should have at least around 80% accurate forecasts. If these people don't have this accuracy, if they can't forecast the consecutive tops and bottoms in the daily chart, on the daily chart, over 80% accuracy, so if they can do it, then they don't have the original knowledge of Gann. I can say that. This is very simple. And obviously, lunars, CORs, and law of vibration, these are the keys. These are the original time cycles and applications of Gann, actually. And so I will briefly share some real forecast results. I don't want to make the video very long, so these are simply my forecasts, so that you can see some real results, and you can know that what to expect while using the Gann's forecasting system. For example, this is my forecasts for BTC for December. And these are some screenshots which I shared in my group for the Patreon members. You can see the forecast here. Firstly, the 13th of November was forecasted as top, and the 5th of December was forecasted as bottom. We see that this date occurred at top, this date occurred at bottom, and then the 12th of December occurs as top. It was forecasted as top, as you see. So there's one invalidation actually, and it's this higher high. Either I selected the past top wrongly, or this is just a bad swing actually. So after that, we see that until 26th, 27th of December, we have downtrend in the midterm cycle. And these are the dates. You can check these dates on this price section. 16th occurs as bottom, 19th occurs as top. And you can see the rest of the dates here. This, by the way, this black line is the CR cycle, and this red line is the lunar cycle. So you can also see that this CR also worked very nicely. There was a bottom. The 12th occurred as top, and this 26th, 27th occurred as bottom, and this is midterm cycle, as you see. these lunar and CUR cycles work together. And if you check the rest of the price action, you will see that there were some uptrends on the midterm cycle. If you follow this CUR line, you see that there was a bottom, so we need to see some uptrends on the CUR cycle. And if you check the real price action, you will see that there were actually some uptrends on the midterm cycle. So here is S&P forecast for December 2025. It's actually the last month, and you can see that the first second of December was forecasted as top. The 8th of December was forecasted as bottom, firstly, and then the top needs to occur on the 10th of December. And again, I shared this with the members, and you can also confirm these charts because all these charts have published dates. These are the published dates by TradingView. You can confirm these charts. So here's the forecast. As you see, there is some sideways price action. There's some top. There's a top, and after that we should have a bottom on the 16th. We see that it occurs with one-day orb, but the price follows our high-low sequence nicely. And then we see that based on my forecast, the 26th of December should occur as top, and the 31st of December should occur as bottom. See the pattern here. This is the forecast, and this is the price action. 26th of December occurred as top, and the 31st of December occurred as bottom. So the thing is, price magnitude on this forecast can differ a bit, but time-wise, as you see, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, this sequence, top-bottom sequence, cannot be broken. That's why William Delbert Gann mentions that time is greater factor in the markets. So finally, I will mention about a few things. Then I will end this video. You may think that how to trade these time cycle pivots because the forecast is made mainly on the daily. By the way, you can apply this information, this system to the intraday using law of vibration. But you saw some forecasts on the daily. So you may ask that how to trade these time cycle pivots. The thing is, you can use your own style. It's okay. Everyone has their own trading style. And if you ask about my opinion, my favorite is options trading. Why? Because it makes profits as long as you have accurate forecast, accurate prediction, and you don't get any stop losses as long as you manage your risk. If you have this information, or if you are following my forecasts, following these pivots, you don't get stop losses when you use options, and still you are on the right side of the trend and you make profit. You can make profit. But still, as I mentioned, you need to decide what to use. And if you do some back tests with different strategies, I think it will help you to figure out a working strategy or working plan. So simply, there are two methods to learn real Gann methods. The first one, decode the tunnel through the air by yourself with searching, with taking time, making efforts. And I'm not saying that it's easy, you can do it, but for some people, um, I think it can be harder to decode this book because it has very detailed information. And when I say lunar cycles, I'm not using its length directly. You need to know also master trend line, you need to know the immersion zones, you need to know the immersion conditions and their rules. So the time cycles themselves are quite specific and detailed. You need to know that. Or if you want to learn Gann, you can learn it from a true Gann mentor. So I have also a Gann webinar. If you are interested, you can just reach me via my X page, Twitter X page, or YouTube, or from my website, and you can join my Gann webinar. At least you can get information about it. Also, in my website, it's explosion.com. You can find lots of, actually, um, I didn't add the previous, the recent months yet. They're on my Twitter X page, but you will find lots of before after charts, and these forecasts were made at the past, and lots of consecutive top and bottoms were forecasted in advance. So you can just check them if you're interested. And thank you for listening and joining this video so far. I hope you enjoyed it. And I want to make some regular videos. That's my plan. So I hope to see you in the next video.